This morning did not begin by accident. It did not happen by chance. You did not simply open your eyes because time moved forward or because your body followed routine. You were awake because God allowed it, before your feet touched the floor, before your phone lit up, before a single responsibility whispered your name. There was a quiet mercy that met you. Breath returned to your lungs. Consciousness returned to your mind. Life returned to your body. And whether you noticed it or not, heaven marked this moment as a gift. This morning is not small. It is not ordinary. It is not guaranteed. It is sacred. There are countless people who went to sleep last night with plans for today that will never unfold. There are prayers that were whispered under blankets that will not be spoken again on this side of eternity. There are dreams that rested in hearts that will not wake to pursue them. But you did, you woke up, and before anything else claims your attention, before gratitude competes with worrying, before joy wrestles with memory or fear, this moment invites one simple, holy response: thankfulness. Not rushed thankfulness. Not polite thankfulness, but deep, anchored gratitude. I am so grateful, God. You woke me up today. Those words are more than a sentence. They are a posture of the heart. They are an alignment of the soul. Because waking up is not just physical. It is spiritual too. Wake up is to be given another opportunity to walk with God, to trust Him again, to learn, to grow, to forgive, to hope, to begin again. This morning carries new mercy. Mercy that was not used yesterday. Mercy that has not been touched by past failures. Mercy that is fresh, clean, and perfectly timed for today. You do not wake up to yesterday's grace. You wake up to today's grace. And even if your body feels tired, even if your heart feels heavy, even if your mind wakes before peace does, the fact that you are here means God is not finished. Gratitude does not deny difficulty. It reframes it. You may be waking up with unanswered questions. You may be waking up with pain that did not leave overnight. You may be waking up carrying responsibilities that feel heavier than your strength. But gratitude says, God, I see the weight. And I still see you. It says, I don't know how today will unfold, but I acknowledge that you chose to let me see it. That is powerful, because gratitude shifts the atmosphere of the soul. It turns survival into worship. It turns breath into praise. It turns waking up into a declaration of trust. This morning light did not arrive alone. It arrived with purpose. The quiet of early hours, the softness of dawn, the way the world feels slower before it fully wakes, all of it invites your heart to remember something important. God is near. Before the noise rises, before the demands multiply, before the schedule tightens its grip, God is already present. You don't have to chase Him today. You don't have to earn His attention. You don't have to perform to be seen. He woke you up because He wanted you here. That alone is reason enough to pause and say thank you. This prayer is not about perfection. It is about presence. It is about beginning the day anchored, not anxious, grateful, not grasping, aware, not overwhelmed. You are not late to your life. You are right on time for today's grace. And even if yesterday was difficult, even if sleep came with tears, even if the night carried fears you could not quiet, morning still came, which means hope still lives. Gratitude in the morning is a quiet rebellion against despair. It says, I am still here, and God is still faithful. You don't have to know what today holds to be thankful for being in it. You don't have to feel strong to acknowledge mercy. You don't have to have answers to recognize grace. Waking up is not just a biological process. It is a spiritual invitation. An invitation to trust again. To breathe again. To walk forward again. And maybe this morning feels ordinary on the surface. Same walls. Same routines. Same concerns waiting in the background. But gratitude changes how you see it. It reminds you that ordinary mornings are often where God does his quietest, deepest work. He shapes patience here. He builds endurance here. He restores hearts here. He prepares breakthroughs here. Not always in dramatic moments, but in faithful ones. This prayer begins here, because life begins here. With breath, with awareness. With acknowledgement. Before requests, before declarations, before intercession. We start with gratitude. Because gratitude opens the heart. It softens resistance. It creates space for God to move. And as you sit with this moment, awake, breathing, present, let your heart rest in this truth. You are not alone this morning. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. You are awake because God allowed it. You are here because grace said yes. You are breathing because mercy held you through the night. So we begin gently, not rushed. Not pressured. Not striving. Just grateful. Grateful for breath. Grateful for another chance. Grateful for light returning. Grateful that God is still writing your story. This is where the day starts. Not with fear. Not with urgency. But with a quiet, sacred acknowledgement. I am so grateful, God, you woke me up today. And that gratitude will carry us forward. As you sit with this morning, you may already feel the pull of the day trying to reach you. Thoughts begin to line up. Responsibilities quietly knock. Memories from yesterday linger. And concerns about what lies ahead try to find space in your mind. That is human. That is real. But before the day speaks loudly, let this moment speak truth into your heart. You did not wake up as a mistake. You did not wake up behind schedule in God's plan. You did not wake up forgotten or overlooked. You woke up because your life still matters. Some mornings we wake up strong, ready, and hopeful. Other mornings we wake up tired, unsure, or emotionally worn. Gratitude does not require the morning to feel perfect. It only asks you to recognize that you are still here. Maybe you woke up today with a quiet heaviness you cannot fully explain. Not overwhelming, but present, a weight carried from days, weeks, or even years. Gratitude does not shame that weight. It sits beside it and says, even here, God is with me. Or maybe you woke up already thinking about someone else. A family member, a child, a spouse, a parent. Someone you love who is struggling, distant, or in need. Gratitude becomes the anchor that keeps your heart steady while you carry concern, or perhaps today feels full. Plans already formed, tasks already waiting. Expectations already set. Gratitude helps you enter those moments grounded, not rushed. Intentional, not reactive. God understands how mornings shape the rest of the day. That is why this moment matters. What you acknowledge first often becomes what you lean on most. When gratitude leads, anxiety loses its grip. When gratitude speaks, fear softens. When gratitude is present, perspective shifts. You are not required to ignore your struggles to be grateful. You are invited to bring them with you into God's presence. Gratitude does not say, everything is easy. It says, God is faithful even when things are hard. There is something deeply personal about mornings. They reveal the true state of the heart. At night, we can distract ourselves. We can numb, we can delay, but morning comes honest. It meets us as we are, And God meets us there too. He meets the tired heart. He meets the anxious mind. He meets the hopeful soul. He meets the discouraged spirit. He does not ask you to fix yourself before coming to Him. He simply asks you to notice Him. When you say, "I am so grateful, God woke me up today," you are not just expressing thanks. You are acknowledging dependence. You are saying, "I recognize that my life is held." That recognition brings peace. Because if God held you through the night, He can hold you through the day. Maybe yesterday left you with regret, words you wish you could take back, choices you wish you could undo. Gratitude does not erase the past, but it reminds you that the story is still being written. You woke up today with space to grow, with room to respond differently. With grace that covers yesterday and strength for today. Maybe you woke up feeling behind. Behind in life, behind in goals, behind where you thought you would be by now. Gratitude recenters your heart and says, you are not late, you are alive. And that means God still has purpose for you. Comparison steals joy. Gratitude restores it. Your journey does not need to look like anyone else's to be meaningful. Your pace does not need to match anyone else's to be valid. You are exactly where God can meet you. And perhaps this morning feels quiet, almost too quiet. A stillness that feels unfamiliar. Gratitude helps you see that silence is not emptiness. It is space, space for God to speak, guide, and reassure. You are allowed to begin today gently. The world may rush. The clock may pressure. The expectations may crowd in. But your soul does not have to follow that pace. Gratitude slows you down enough to remember what matters. It reminds you that you are more than what you produce today, more than what you accomplish, more than what you solve or fix. You are a life God values. When gratitude anchors the morning, the day unfolds differently. You respond instead of react. You listen instead of rush. You trust instead of control. And even if today brings challenges, gratitude prepares your heart to face them with steadiness. You do not walk into this day empty-handed. You carry grace. You carry breath. You carry God's presence. This prayer is not about pretending everything is okay. It is about trusting that God is present in everything that is not. So wherever you are right now, sitting, standing, resting, preparing, let your heart settle into this truth. You woke up because God saw value in you seeing this day. And that alone is enough to begin with gratitude. As we move forward, we will go deeper. We will reflect. We will pray. We will open our hearts fully. But first, stay here for a moment. Connected. Grounded. Aware. You are not alone this morning. You are held. You are seen. You are still being guided. And your gratitude is already shaping the path ahead. Gratitude at the beginning of the day is more than a feeling. It is a spiritual orientation. It determines how the heart interprets everything that follows. When gratitude comes first, the soul learns to see life as a gift rather than a demand. To say, "I am so grateful, God woke me up today," is to recognize that life itself is entrusted, not owned. Each morning arrives as a reminder that we are receivers before we are doers. We receive breath before effort. We receive light before direction. We receive mercy before responsibility. This understanding gently reshapes how we live. So many people wake up already measuring the day by what must be done, fixed, earned, or endured. The mind races ahead while the heart struggles to catch up. Gratitude interrupts that pattern. It teaches the heart to arrive where the body already is. When gratitude leads, pressure loosens its grip. Morning gratitude does not ignore the reality of difficulty, but it places that difficulty within a larger truth. God sustains life moment by moment. The same power that carried you through the night is present in the hours ahead. Waking up is an act of provision. It is God saying, "Here is what you need to face today: life, breath, awareness, and my presence." That provision may feel simple, but it is profound. Think about how much of life depends on what we cannot control. The beating of the heart, the rhythm of breath, the renewal of strength during sleep. We participate in these realities, but we do not command them. They are given. Gratitude teaches humility without diminishing worth. It reminds us that dependence on God is not weakness, it is wisdom. When you begin the day grateful, you acknowledge that you are not self-sustaining, you are sustained. And that truth brings freedom. You do not have to carry the weight of everything alone. You were never meant to. There is also a quiet courage in morning gratitude. It takes courage to say thank you before you know how the day will unfold. It is an act of trust. It says, "Even if today is uncertain, I choose to believe that God is good." That choice shapes the inner world. Consider how gratitude influences perspective. Without it, the mind naturally gravitates toward lack, what is missing, what is delayed, what hurts. Gratitude gently redirects attention toward what is present and what is possible. This does not minimize pain. It places pain within a broader story. In that story, waking up matters. It matters because it means the story is still moving forward. It means there is still opportunity for growth, healing, reconciliation, and transformation. God works in days, not just moments. Some mornings feel like a continuation of struggle. Others feel like a fresh start. Gratitude bridges both. It says, whether today brings clarity or confusion, I will walk into it with awareness of God's faithfulness. There is also a teaching embedded in gratitude about time. Each morning reminds us that time itself is a gift. We often treat time as something to conquer or control, but gratitude teaches us to steward it instead. When you wake up thankful, you approach time with care. You become more attentive to how you use it, how you speak within it, how you rest in it. Gratitude slows the heart just enough to notice God's quiet movements. The light outside does not rush the sunrise. It unfolds gradually, patiently, faithfully. In the same way, God often works through gradual processes rather than sudden changes. Gratitude helps the heart remain patient while growth unfolds. Many people pray for change without learning to notice presence. Morning gratitude shifts that focus. It teaches the heart to recognize God not only in answered prayers, but in sustaining grace. God's presence is not limited to breakthroughs. It is woven into ordinary mornings. When you wake up and give thanks, you are training your heart to see God in daily life, in routine, in repetition, in consistency. That training matters because most of life is lived in ordinary moments. God shapes character in the quiet faithfulness of daily gratitude. He strengthens trust when the heart learns to acknowledge Him before the day makes demands. Gratitude also creates emotional resilience. When challenges arise, the heart that began the day thankful has a place to return. It remembers that God was present at the beginning and will remain present throughout. This does not mean emotions will not fluctuate. It means they will not rule. Morning gratitude grounds identity. It reminds you that you are not defined by productivity, success, or failure. You are defined by relationship. You are awake because God values your life. That truth carries weight. It means your life has meaning beyond outcomes. It means your worth is not measured by how much you accomplish today. It means your presence in this world still serves a purpose, even when progress feels slow. Gratitude invites the heart to rest in that purpose. There is also a deep spiritual discipline at work here. Gratitude trains the soul to align with truth rather than fear. Fear asks, "What if?" Gratitude responds, "God is." This alignment does not eliminate uncertainty, but it changes how uncertainty is held. Instead of tightening around the unknown, the heart remains open. God often speaks most clearly to a grateful heart because gratitude quiets internal noise. It creates space. It softens resistance. It invites listening. When the day begins with gratitude, prayer becomes more natural. It flows from awareness rather than desperation. It becomes conversation rather than crisis response. Gratitude does not replace prayer. It deepens it. It opens the door for surrender, trust, and guidance. As you reflect on waking up today, consider how this simple acknowledgement can shape everything else. Gratitude is not something you add to life. It is something that reshapes life from the inside out. And that is why this prayer takes its time here. Because understanding gratitude prepares the heart for everything that follows. Before asking, before seeking, before declaring, we recognize what has already been given. Life. Breath. Another morning. God woke you up today. And that truth is not small. It is the foundation upon which this day stands. Now, as these reflections settle into your heart, allow the pace inside you to slow. You do not need to rush into prayer. Prayer is not entered through urgency. It is entered through awareness. You have already begun praying simply by noticing, by acknowledging, by becoming present to this moment. The noise of the day may still be waiting. Thoughts may still drift in and out. That is okay. You are not trying to empty your mind. You are gently turning your heart toward God. Let this be a soft turning. There is a difference between moving toward prayer and being pulled into it. Right now, you are being invited to shift from reflection into conversation, from awareness into surrender. You do not need to change your posture or your position. The posture that matters most is internal. A willingness to open, a willingness to receive. Gratitude has already opened the door. As you prepare to pray, remember that prayer is not about saying the right words. It is about allowing your true self to be present before God. The part of you that woke up tired, the part that woke up hopeful, the part that woke up unsure, all of it is welcome. God does not require you to sort yourself out before coming to Him. He invites you to come as you are and be shaped in His presence. This is where the heart exhales. You are not entering this prayer to impress God. You are entering it to rest in Him, to acknowledge dependence, to align your spirit with truth. Let go of the need to control how this prayer unfolds. You are not performing. You are responding to the gift of waking up, responding to the grace that carried you into this morning. As we move into prayer, allow gratitude to remain at the center. Let it guide your words. Let it soften your thoughts. Let it remind you that God is already near. You do not pray to bring God closer. You pray because He is close. This is a sacred shift. From thinking about God to speaking with Him, from reflection to relationship. Stay gentle with yourself here. Stay present. Stay open. The prayer that follows will carry praise, surrender, trust, and hope. But it begins exactly where you are right now. Awake. Breathing. Grateful. And ready to speak with the one who woke you up today. Gracious and loving God, I come before you this morning with a quiet heart and an open spirit. I acknowledge you as the giver of life, the keeper of my soul, the one who watched over me while I slept and gently called me into this new day. You are faithful beyond measure. You are steady when everything else feels uncertain. You are present before I speak and patient as I find my words. I praise you for the simple miracle of waking up, for breath that returned to my lungs, for awareness that returned to my mind, for strength that carried me from rest into this moment. You are good in ways I often overlook and generous in ways I cannot count. The light of this morning reflects your kindness. The quiet of these early moments reflects your peace. I honor you not only for what you do, but for who you are, a God who sustains. A God who provides, a God who remains. Thank you for being near. Thank you for holding my life. Thank you for waking me up today. As I sit before you, I release the weight I carried into this morning, the thoughts that linger. The worries that whisper, the regrets that try to follow me into a new day. I do not want yesterday to define today. I do not want fear to shape my steps. I do not want anxiety to guide my decisions. I surrender my need to control outcomes. I surrender my habit of rushing ahead. I surrender my tendency to measure myself by what I accomplish instead of who I am in you. Cleanse my heart of bitterness, of comparison, of hidden frustration. Wash away the heaviness that sleep could not remove. Renew my spirit with gentleness and clarity. Help me let go of what no longer serves my growth. Help me forgive where forgiveness feels difficult. Help me rest in your mercy rather than striving for perfection. I place this day in your hands. I place my thoughts in your care. I place my heart under your guidance. God, as this day unfolds, I ask for strength that does not come from pressure, but from peace. Strength to respond wisely, strength to listen fully, strength to walk patiently. I ask for guidance in every conversation, every decision, every step. Help me notice where you are leading. Help me recognize when I need to pause instead of push forward. If challenges arise, steady my heart. If uncertainty appears, anchor my trust. If fatigue sets in, renew my energy. Grant me clarity when the path feels unclear. Grant me courage when obedience feels costly. Grant me compassion when others need grace. Let this day be marked not by fear, but by faith. Not by striving, but by trust. Not by noise, but by awareness of your presence. Today, I declare that my life is held by you. I am not walking alone. I am not facing this day unsupported. I am awake because you allowed it. I am breathing because you sustain it. I am moving forward because you are with me. I choose to trust you with what I cannot control. I choose to believe that your grace is enough for this day. I choose to walk with confidence, rooted in your faithfulness. I am grateful, not because everything is easy, but because you are faithful. I am hopeful, not because I know the future, but because you hold it. I am at peace, not because there is no challenge, but because you are present. I lift before you the people connected to my life. My family. My home. Those I love and those I worrying about. Cover them with peace. Guide their steps. Strengthen their hearts. Bring calm where there is tension. Bring healing where there is pain. Bring unity where there is distance. Bless the work of my hands. TODA. YBLES is the spaces I enter. Bless the conversations I will have. Let my presence bring kindness. Let my words bring encouragement. Let my actions reflect gratitude. Protect me as I move through this day. Guard my heart and my mind. Keep me attentive to what truly matters. Thank you, God, for this morning. Thank you for the gift of waking up. Thank you for walking with me into this day. I do not rush ahead of you. I do not lag behind. I walk with you. May gratitude remain my foundation. May trust shape my responses. May your presence guide every step. I rest in the truth that this day is held by you. And that is enough. Amen. As you step forward from this moment, carry this truth gently but firmly within you. Today has already been touched by God. Before effort, before decision, before interaction, this day was met with gratitude. That matters more than you may realize. You did not rush into this morning. You did not let the weight of life define the first word spoken over your heart. You began with awareness. You began with thankfulness. You began anchored. That choice will continue to echo through your day. There will be moments today that ask for patience, moments that test your peace, moments that challenge your expectations. When they come, remember how you started. Remember that your breath is a gift and your life is held. Gratitude does not disappear when the day becomes busy. It becomes quieter, deeper, steadier. It works beneath the surface, shaping how you respond, how you speak, how you see. You may not feel grateful in every moment, but you have already planted gratitude in your spirit. And planted things grow. If the day feels long, let gratitude remind you that God is still sustaining you moment by moment. If the day feels heavy, let gratitude ground you in the truth that you are not carrying it alone. If the day feels joyful, let gratitude deepen that joy by acknowledging its source. You do not have to be perfect today. You do not have to have everything figured out. You only need to remain aware of what is already true. God woke you up because your life still has purpose. That purpose does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it appears in quiet faithfulness, in small acts of kindness, in choosing peace where conflict could grow. Sometimes purpose is simply staying present and trusting God with the rest. Whatever today holds, you are equipped for it, not because you are strong on your own, but because you are supported, not because the path is clear, but because the one who guides you is faithful. Let gratitude continue to soften your heart. Let it keep you attentive to God's presence. Let it remind you that you are seen, known, and cared for. You are not late to this day. You are not unprepared. You are not forgotten. You are awake. You are breathing. You are held. And that is enough to walk forward with quiet confidence. Carry this blessing with you. May your steps be steady, your heart be light, and your spirit remain anchored in gratitude. May you notice God's presence in the ordinary moments and trust Him in the uncertain ones. Today is not random, it is received, and you began it well.